Zerko's Report, Episode 58, How to Choose Troop Type and Tier. Okay, so since I started playing this game, I've learned a lot. I've experimented with troop training different troop types as well as troop tiers, and this is what I've found to be the best scenario and the best approach to the troops that you have. And mind you, this is a game of war. It is not Farmville, though there are events that are for farming. That is fine. But if you are currently do not feel comfortable fighting for whatever reason and are finding yourself falling back on just farming and upgrading buildings and stuff, well, I want to show this to you as well, because this will help make some decisions for you and get on in the game and into fighting. All right, let's get serious. Let's get down to this. All right, we first got to choose which troop type. And whether you know yours or not, just bear with me. We're going to go up here at the top. We're going to hit Shaman. Bottom left of the screen, we're going to hit the red Shamans button. And we're going to scroll through our list of Shamans. And you're going to decide who you want. Pick anybody you want, doesn't matter. Whichever one is geared towards an offensive troop type. I specifically have gone with Siba, the Bloody. He is level 41. So we're going to click on him, and I went with him. I liked what he had, the stats, and he was for killers, so I am investing in killers, okay? Alright, we're going to go back here to Shamans. Now, Winla is necessary too, but you can see I haven't upgraded her as much as I have with Siba. You only need Winla when you attack a city that has troops in it. Like, if it is a city that has no clan, there's pretty much a 99% chance it's not going to have troops. And in that case, if you're still unsure, send 100 or send 1,000 scouts, and you'll see it'll come back with nothing. If the city you want to attack or scout has a clan tag still to this day, even though they haven't been logged in for a while, consider if there is an event going on. Maybe it's a trap. So now you want Winla, and Winla is important. But for tile popping resource tiles, you do not need Winla. You just need to send a single scout to that tile. And you don't need it to send your shaman either. You can, it doesn't hurt, doesn't matter. But since there's no scouts on that tile, then there's no scouts to overcome, so you can merely send a single scout to that resource tile and successfully get a report. Alright, so step one, we've decided our shaman. And for me, it's going to be Siba. So now we're going to scroll over here, and we're going to go to the Shrine of Odin. Click on the second tab in my town. You can see I have nothing but killers. T1, 2, 3, 4 killers, and I do have T4 siege troops. Now, I chose to train 500,000 T4 troops, or T4 siege troops, just because they really got a city really well. I call it my cleanup crew. So after I go in, attack a city, or scout a city, attack it, kill all the troops, then I will send in all of my T4 siege, and I will gut all their resources, and I can do it at an extremely quick time with 500,000 of them. Now, the thing about okay, so let's say I want to get rid of, hold on one second. The reason I only have killers is because everything else gets in the way. I'm going to give you an example right here. We're going to go out to the global map, so you can see how this works here. And we're just going to click on number 10 here, level 10, and we're going to say attack. You see, if I had every single troop type and every single tier level of every single troop type, I would be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, trying to select which ones I wanted to send, right? In the meantime, they could know that I was in the area. They could be stacking that city as a trap and I not see it, and because I've spent so much time screwing around on this screen, and then I get burned. And that has happened to me. I've gotten faster. My attack, from the time I tap on the city to hit to the time that I hit this button that says yes and then reshield, I am down to about 3 seconds flat. Now at 3 seconds flat, they're not going to have time to reinforce that town. And in a subsequent video, I will show you how I do that. Actually, it'll be the video coming up right after this. Mind you, there is no audio. You don't need it, but you can see all the buttons I'm pressing. Alright, so we're going to go to attack, and you can see I just have T1, 2, 3, 4 killers, and then my cleanup crew. Alright, so you always want to send your strongest, and that doesn't necessarily mean T4. Maybe you have better T3 knowledge. In that regards, you might want to use T3s. But you always, for your secondary, you always want to throw at least 20, say 10 to 20,000 T1s on there. Because whatever troops you lose, the game will kill off the weaker of the troops. So you always send 2. You do not need to send 1, 2, 3, T4s, T5s. You don't need to do all that. Just T1s and then whatever your strongest troop tier is. If it's T3, so be it. If your T4s are stronger, then use T4s and just a little bit of T1s. Put that at 10 to 20,000. And you're good to go. So you won't lose any of your T4s that way. Alright, next. Well, yeah, you won't unless the ratio was so bad and you lost. I mean, it could, but now we're just going to get in. I don't want to talk about it because it's just going to get complicated. It'll make this awkward. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so let's go back in town here. So now, we have that. We're going to go back here. Now, I want to get rid of my T2s and T3s completely, even though I have 741,000 T3 killers. I still want to dismiss them, so I can just tap on that, and I can, down here at the bottom of the screen, I can dismiss all my troops. I'm not going to this very second. But the idea is, I want T1s, because T1s are the meat shield. They're the first to die. They're so cheap to replace. But T4s are so unbelievably strong. I don't even study T2 and T3 knowledge in the Citadel anymore until it's going to force me, which down the line, the Citadel will force me to go up and address those earlier blocks in the chain. So we go over here to the Citadel. Oh yeah, and when you choose these, you don't need to go. I selected all of them. You don't need to. You only need to pick your main troop type and then secondarily do scouts. That is it. At the time I did siege as a second level. I chose siege because I was doing more farming at that time because I wasn't comfortable with attacking. It was a bad mistake. But I don't need killers and siege. That's 2 offensive types. I just need 1 offensive type and then scouts. So I'm not really scouting much. So you can see I only have very minimal. because I'm not attacking cities right now, I'm doing tile popping and I don't need strength for my scouts to tile pop. So we'll click on killers here and you can see I have 1 finished, tier 1 finished, and 2 and 3 I have skipped over quite a bit. Now I'm working on tier 4, and you can see it's already given me 70% defense bonus, so that's pretty dope. Alright, we want to go talk. Oh yeah, I know what it is. Alright, so the reason I want to dismiss T2s and T3s is for this. Now mind you, I don't have T7 knowledge yet, but from what I see, this worried me. If you scroll down this list, right in the middle of the screen you see the block tier 7 against tier 1 warrior offense 1. Alright, scroll down. Right in the middle there, tier 7 against tier 2 troops. Lovely. In the middle there, tier 7 against tier 3 troops. Here's tier 7 against tier 2 offense 2. And below that is tier 3 offense 2. You see, they have added knowledge blocks for tier 7 troops that specifically give more offensive bonus towards T1, 2, and 3. Now, this is merely theoretical conjecture. Come on. But if there is extra bonuses to kill T2s and T3 troops, then I don't want to waste my time, energy, resources in training them. So they will go bye-bye in time, and then I'll just have 1s and 4s, and then I will begin to train T5s, T6s, and T7s. I think 2s and 3s are a waste. Sure, the Oracle knowledge and the Citadel knowledge gives you influence points, but influence points is not everything. That's the biggest misnomer about this game, is to rank up your influence points. Let me show you something. What's more important than influence points is your ratio. My total influence is 1.2 billion. My knowledge is 1.1 billion. That's pretty great. My troops is 87. And this should always be, I've talked about this in other videos, so I'll make it quick. This should always be 10% of your total influence. So just use the first 10% of this. So I could go up to 128 million troops influence. And that would be that 10% ratio, right? So your influence numbers is not important. As important as this game and your peers have led you to believe. So anyway, with that said, pick your shaman, find your troop type, only train that troop type, and then quit training 2s and 3s, dismiss them, and dismiss all other troop types that are not your troop type. I will be dismissing the T2 killers as well as scouts, and same goes for T3. They're just not worth it. Because when you need that, when that 3 seconds counts, it is so important that you're not scrolling. Because they'll make or break, it could make or break the attack. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. For now, Zerko's out.